Today we're looking at the new e-bike. This is the Engwe EP-2 Pro model. I recently posted a review of the G-Force T42 and I really like that setup. Since EP-2 Pro it's very similar to G-Force, but there are differences in performance and specs. I would like to compare them and see how different these models are, and price-wise, which is a better deal package for you. Let's unbox and see what this model looks like and what it has to offer. And after, we'll look at both bikes and talk about the pros and cons of these models, speed, range, and performance. We have both bikes outside, so I think this is the best opportunity to compare them. They look very similar, but they have different settings and different components, quality and performance-wise. So let's look at the frame. You see in the back, there's different construction, and the G-Force has completely different tail. The front part is the same as the EP-2 model. Now the fork, right? Fork, let's take a look here. It's pretty much the same fork as the G-Force, no difference there. We can see the rims are different. Now the headlight is different. I think it's a little bit brighter. This headlight is much more compact. Also has very good output, but just a hair less intensity, but it's pretty good for night riding. So we have FITALIE brakes, and those are mechanical brakes in the front and the back. And out of the box, I did not adjust them, worked very well. Here on the G-Force, we have hydraulic brakes. The same effect, the same performance, but much nicer touch, much easier to press. We have the same tires, same design kickstands on both bikes, and the same marking, HC here and HC there. Now pedals and crankset, we have this design here. This is EP-2 model, and we have this design on the T42. We have the same cranksets on both e-bikes, even the same name. The same folding mechanism, just different colors. Both work very well. Now the seats, when I made the GT42 model review, I actually swapped them. This is the one that belongs in this model, and this is the seat that comes on the G-Force bike. Fenders. We have plastic fenders. I think this is much better fenders than the one that came with G-Force T42. I wish we had this option over there. That would be so much better. But for now, this bike I think looks better without the fenders, so I'll never mount them back. Rear constructions allow you here to put a fender and a rear rack, but you don't have that option, and it's a more expensive bike. Here on EP-2 you have a very nice rear rack, solid. It's not as strong as the other bikes I review on this channel, but definitely will hold 30 to 40, maybe 50 pounds easily. Anything over that, you need a more reinforced, much thicker rear rack. But this one I think does well, and you have here the biggest advantage. You have a rear light which works perfectly, and it's a rear brake light. We don't have that on this model, and here I actually epoxied and I mounted this, so very useful for night riding. Both bikes I mounted the shed lights, SL1000. I think this is must-own item, which I mentioned earlier. Very good, and actually compensates and helps for the lights we have on the bike. Really reaches far and gives you a better pattern. And I think it's a cool light that can be mounted on any scooter, e-board, or electric bicycle. The same problem on this model. These wires are sticking out so much, and look, they go all the way under for the frame and the back. The same on this model, exactly the same wiring. I wish they actually hide that, or at least put here a plastic rail so you don't see that. Look at this, all this hanging. This is the only thing that I don't like about these bikes, that they have all these wires around. There's so much room in here. Why not stick it through the frame? And there's plenty of room here also. The same with this bike. Look at this, all this mess. Could have been covered so much better. The connectors are waterproof, which is good, but this has to be more secure and better done. I think for the price is not bad, and if you get this bike, you can definitely DIY that and hide them. Fork is very good, very soft, has a lot of adjustability, as I mentioned on that bike, and you can also set here the speed of rebound. You can lock it and unlock it. It's very comfortable to ride it off-road or on street roads. The most important components of any e-bike is the battery and the motor. This is the biggest difference between these two models. Now let's compare these settings here on these two models, and I want to add that that model was $1299 and this was under $1,000. It was on sale. Now the sale just ended and now it's $1199. But let's look at the motor. We have here 750 watt motor. On this bike we have 500 watt, and this has gears inside. And if you look at the size, this motor actually is bigger than this motor. The battery, we have 12.8 amp, and that battery has only 10.4 amp. So this bike should give you more range and better performance. But we'll get that into the moment and see the top speed, and I'll have to finish the test range and see how much I'll get on this model going on a third speed and also on a fifth speed. But 750 watts should be better according to the numbers. On this model we have 5 levels of assist. We can also eliminate the assist completely. Speed, the fastest I reached was 26 miles an hour, and that was in the 5th level pedaling. The 4th level you can reach up to 20 miles an hour, 3rd level 15 miles an hour, 2nd level 11 miles an hour, and 1st level up to 7 miles an hour. Now compared to G-Force model, the maximum speed was 30 miles an hour, and on this model we only have 3 levels of assist. Range. So I reached 35 miles on a 3rd level assist. I only used 4th and 5th level on a bigger, longer hills. But if you only use the 5th level assist on pedal, I was able to cover only 27 miles on flats. Compared to G-Force model in 3rd level, I was able to get only 23 miles. We can see here from the start that Engwe model is geared for range with lower power level assist from 1st level to 3rd level speeds. Once you go on the 4th or 5th level, you'll get more power and speed, but correspondingly less range. Comparing both models, G-Force will get you 30 miles an hour versus 26 miles an hour on EP-2 Pro model. Range-wise, G-Force will get you 23 miles versus 27 miles in range on EP-2 Pro model. On this model we have the extra options like the rear rack, rear brake light, which is very important. They also offer aluminum fenders for those that don't like the plastic ones. So overall I think both bikes are great, but I like the extra stuff that Engwe has to offer. Power output, G-Force is quicker off the line and higher top speed, but lower range. But if you're not into speed, if you're okay with 25-26 miles an hour or lower speeds, more mild, softer start but longer range, or if you like to pedal more and get that bike ride stretched for longer distances, if you want to work out a little bit, then Engwe Pro model is the one that's right for you. Both bikes are foldable, so it's perfect for those that like to save space, or let's say if you're traveling. Fat tire that will handle any terrain, 7-speed cassette, maximum load 330 pounds, a nice big display, swappable battery. So overall I think this is a very good option, and it's even more budget friendly to consider if you're looking to purchase a fat tire e-bike. Guys, I placed the link down below. If you like this model, take a look. Don't forget to share and like this video if you find it informative. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.